Welcome back to the Ponca City Monthly Podcast. I'm your host, Andy. And if you were with us last fall, about October, I brought in Caleb Bankston with the book, The Boatman. And I kind of mentioned then that this year, something that I really wanted to kind of do and bring to you guys was bringing more authors and having more sort of book talks. The reason being that I started my career doing book reviews for magazines and stuff like that. So for me, books are just something that is a natural comfort zone for me. So I wanted to get some different ideas and thoughts on books. First place that we should start was with our own book review section. It is provided by Brace Books and More here in town. They have literally been, I think, since the very first issue. They've been in the magazine, so we've had lots of book reviews. They always do two. And this month they have a new writer, Romey, and she is coming in to take over doing the book reviews. You also have some stuff that you do in the bookstore, right?
I do, yes.
Romey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do at the bookstore.
Well, one of the things I do is I'm the book manager. So I'm in charge of checking in the new books, and I'm getting closer to ordering books. We're kind of stepping into that new territory. And then I also run the social media. So,
nice. So all those like fun book talks and things like that are all from you, huh?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody likes them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying that. I like doing the social media side, and it's interesting, kind of learning new.
Yeah, learning new things.
Yeah.
Were you kind of like a book reader? Like, have you always been into books, or?
Yeah, ever since like elementary school.
Okay.
I was a big reader, Junie B. Jones. I kind of wrote my own stories, so
nice.
I've always been into reading. And
I think that people who are deep into reading usually have some sort of writer, like even if it's something that never comes out in public, it's something we all do sort of internally, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely did. Like me and my friends would all write little stories and share them together, and yeah, so.
This month we've got two books that you selected for us. Let's talk about the first one, Nobody's Girl. Tell me a little bit about that book.
So it follows Virginia Roberts' story. She was a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein, and she really just goes into her time as from childhood. She didn't have a great childhood, and then her teenage years when she met Epstein, and kind of her life 2 years with him. And her writing was just amazing in how she was able to convey all this traumatic stuff that happened to her. And I definitely had to take breaks because it was just a lot, if you're familiar with that. And but then she's also talked about life afterwards. She became a wife and a mother, and just dedicated the rest of her life to that, and advocating for other survivors that survived the same situations she did. And just a very strong woman. I thought it was fitting for it's Women's History Month in March, and I just thought it was just very fitting. And
so Women's History Month, was that the reason you gravitated toward the book, or how did you find out about this book?
I believe the book came out last year, maybe early last year, and a lot of people came in asking for it. Okay. And that kind of piqued my interest of what's going on? Like, I feel like maybe I should investigate.
Yeah.
And I think I finally picked it up in November. I was ready to dive into it, and so I did. And
because you say in the review that you really liked at the end how she sort of kind of reinvented herself and kind of went on with her life and focused on her family and stuff, right?
She did. Yeah, she lived in Australia and just dedicated her life to her, I believe, 3 kids and her husband, and just I know that her experiences were still very prevalent in her mind, and she still had to work through that herself, but still just to still be able to be an amazing mom and dedicate her life to them was just, I don't know, fulfilling in a way that I'm glad she got a semi-happy ending.
Sure.
It's not
Yeah.
the best word to use, but still got a little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the book is available at Brace Books.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
so
is.
you can pick it up now. I always like how every time we do every time we do the book reviews, those books are kind of like right up front or right sort of in the back. Where
Yeah, we
I
have
don't know how to
a
describe that area.
yeah, we have a section at our back desk, and it has the monthly right there and the 2 books that were reviewed. So
you can always grab those there. And the other book we're talking about, of course, is The Outsiders. Coming up, let's see, this is going to air the few days after March 25th, a few days ago. And that was the anniversary of the 1983 film, which came from the book.
yes.
So yeah, what made you gravitate toward this book?
Well, it's been adapted into a musical.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to go see the musical in Tulsa at the Performing Arts Center. And watching it, I was like, oh, I really need to reread this book. And there was a lot going on that I couldn't remember. I hadn't read it since elementary school. And so I picked it up. It's a pretty quick read. So I was...
So the musical came in last fall, was it? Or was it in the summer?
It was the fall, October,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. One of my good friends went and also saw it and was raving about how cool it is. I don't know anything about the musical. Is it the same story?
Yeah, it's the same story. They do
that?
change a couple of things, I think, to fit the stage a little better, and the songs were great, and it's one of those books you don't imagine it becoming a musical, but
Sure.
seeing it on stage, it just makes perfect sense, I think. The cast was amazing. I don't know, I love musicals. I've been obsessed since I was a kid, so I never could get on stage. But anyways, just watching it and seeing like these characters be adapted.
Musicals are really fun. That's fun that you mentioned that because you and I have that in common. I love musicals. I actually thought for a second I could make it as a musical performer. I didn't realize you had to like really be able to sing and really be able to dance.
Yes. Yeah, my thing was always like getting up there and being in front of people. I was like, absolutely not. I can't.
One of my most embarrassing moments in my life was actually at an audition.
No.
I realized I wasn't going to cut it. And like, what do you do in that situation? You just,
right.
like, you realize you're not good enough. Like, you don't know this dance. Like, they just showed you got like 2 seconds to learn it. Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Just have to finish strong and be like, it's okay. I don't expect a call back. Yes. But
yeah. So, one of the things, of course, that's big about Outsiders is Essie Hinton is from Oklahoma. She's from Tulsa. She grew up there. We were talking about this a little before the podcast started. That cool trivia is that she actually wrote this while she was in high school. So she was like 16, I think we determined.
yeah, I think so.
That's pretty wild. Can you imagine writing this book then?
No, I can't. It's one thing that's always amazed me about The Outsiders is her being 16, just high school kid, writing this book that she had no idea would be such a big cultural phenomenon. I feel like everybody has read it at least once, and whether you've seen the movie or not, I feel like you're familiar with it, especially being from Oklahoma.
One of the trivia points that I learned while kind of researching for this was that while she was writing this book, I guess in her junior year at Rogers High School in Tulsa, she received a D in her creative writing class. Apparently the teacher did not think that she had the stuff.
Which I wonder what that teacher thought afterwards. Like, oh man, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just...
She, so got a D going there at Rogers. So that kind of, I'm sure that must have shaped her. Like, are you the type of person that whenever somebody tells you no, that just kind of inspires you to work even harder?
I think a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe that was her, like, getting the D, just got her to go back and try even harder to prove like I do have the stuff.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna show this teacher that I do have it. Yeah, I'm curious. It'd be so interesting to talk to her and kind of see.
You can. She's just in Tulsa.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we can just
go to one of her book signings or whatever. Yeah. I'm sure that on March 25th, you will be able to track her down somewhere.
True. So go to Tulsa and be like,
okay. And, well, one of the things that will be happening on March 25th, of course, is that the house in the movie, the Outsider's House, as they call it,
yes.
Is now a museum in Tulsa. You can go tour it, and they have like movie memorabilia, things like that. So it's kind of a cool little spot. But I'm sure you can see SE there.
Yeah. Sure, maybe I'd get lucky one day.
You'll have to like send us an update because this will air. We're recording this weeks before that, so maybe you'll get to meet her sometime in there.
Maybe.
Since we're talking about the movie again, like I said, this is unfair because I know so much details about this. Was that Francis Ford Coppola was one of his kind of great movies. Do you know that how the movie came to be, like how the book got transferred to a movie?
I don't.
So there was actually a librarian in Fresno, California. She thought that the book, she was having trouble getting boys to read books. She couldn't really figure out, the method to get them interested in reading. And then she introduced them to Outsiders, and it caught on like wildfire. And all the boys in the school were reading it, and she thought that was really cool. And so she picked Francis Ford Coppola out of all of the directors she could have. She took a survey at her school and had all the students sign it. And she then sent that off to Francis Ford Coppola and basically begged him to turn it into a movie so that it would inspire boys to read books.
Wow. That's interesting. I never...
But that was the story. It's quite well documented. You can go and read her letter to Francis Ford Coppola. I guess another like weird part of that story was that he was very heavily in LA at the time. And so she actually sent the letter to the New York office, which nobody mailed. Oh. So it was just a happy stance that she did that. Otherwise, it probably would have just got swept up in all the other junk mail.
Yeah. Wow. So it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So, yeah. A little history there on that. Yeah. What was your favorite part of The Outsiders?
There's
the movie or the book?
Yeah, I feel in the book, the main thing that I just really enjoy is these kids. I mean, they're kids like 14
they are kids. Yeah.
To 16 years old, and just it's astounding how their whole lives is just like the greasers versus the socias, and
sure.
By the end, they just realized like none of that mattered after the events of the book. After what happened, like losing two of their friends, it just seemed like, oh, that was just those problems. It doesn't even matter anymore, But yeah, and I feel just the friendship between all of them, and like that's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just the closeness and just I don't know, it's again written by a 16-year-old, so I guess who knows that better than a fellow teenager.
Sure. Okay, well, Romey, we thank you so much for dropping in with us today. You're going to come back. We're going to talk more books. We discussed that maybe next month, maybe Hail Mary, because it's going to be a big topping point for. It'll come out does it come out this month? In March?
the 20th.
Yeah, so it's going to come out here in March, but we won't see it and have a chance to talk about it until April. So we'll see you guys back next week. We're going to have another great podcast, so join us then. Thanks.